Hi there, welcome to another educational video documenting my Web3 expedition. In this video, I want to quickly talk about Limitless. For Limitless, it's a prediction market on Base. We all know how the Base airdrops are faring these days. The Avantis one, which I introduced recently, did very well. Limitless is the next one. In fact, I believe the airdrop is very soon. So you only have 4 days left to participate in this if you are interested because the season one is going to end September 22. So you definitely want to be positioned, and you can, even if you are just starting now. Now, there's also a wall chain campaign. Now, it's harder to vie for a position there. Even myself, I've slacked and I've already falling down on the leaderboard. So I no longer, I wouldn't be able to compete on that front. Now, Wallchain is an InfoFi platform. They have a campaign with Limitless, which will share 0.5% of the supply to top 250 quackers. Now, you'll see the timeline here, 4 days left, tells me that even on Limitless itself, 4 days left to be able to participate in the first season of the airdrop. Now, I believe this airdrop will be huge because we are talking of the topmost prediction market on Base. It's also possible the token lists on Coinbase, stuff like that. So you'll see I'm nowhere close to the top, 250, I'm 603. But if you have a strong Twitter account and you want to compete on this front, your invite to Wallchain will be in the description. Now, I'm talking of those who want to make use of Limitless itself, generate as much activity as possible on here towards the airdrop. If you look here, it's not as competitive as you think. Why do I say so? First off, there are not so many users on Limitless. Even if there are many users on Limitless, many of them are not active because the minimum requirement to earn to position for the airdrop is $200 worth of volume, which is very small. But I don't think people know that. Even if you have $10, you can acquire $200 worth of volume. It just takes 20 prediction events, which you can do one a day over the course of 20 days. Now there are only 4 days left, I believe. So I'll just be giving you a gist of what you can do to get started. You will see that I don't know if it's invite only, I can't remember, but I've invited 23 people. I want to show you their stats just to show you that many people are not active here. So you see total volume of the 23 people that joined is 123. So not one of this will qualify as is, telling you that you can be competitive here. Even if there are 10,000 users on Limitless, which I doubt, many of them are not active. Now, let's go further into the stats. If we go by points, even if we go by points, you will see top 250 has only 1,355 points. This is as we speak, although there will be another update of points. They do it weekly. But 1,335 points is reachable even if you start today. Okay. Now, if you go by volume, even if you go by volume, even though the topmost volume has a lot, 33 million, you will see that the total ranking here based on volume is 13,744. But if you go page by page and you look at, say, the top 500, you will see you can also compete in that front. So you see, when you go to top, the you see all these people just $1 worth of volume. See? So if we came, let's say we come, let's go back to top one. I'll just take this to around top 250. You'll see that even if you start now, you'll be able to reach, let's say, top 2000 in rank. And then where there's an airdrop, the valuation of the airdrop is very high, or the project, it turns out very high. You can have a good airdrop after all, with just some level of activity. So let's just be patient a bit. I just want to do this for context sake. Even if you just reach the bare minimum of $200 worth of volume, at the very least, you'll qualify for an airdrop. And considering overall there are 13,000 people, you may end up with a tangible airdrop. And if you are careful, there would have been no expenditure as well besides paying gas fee. So we'll soon end this, by the way, just a moment. Wow. A bit sluggish, but let's just get to 250 and see what it's looking like there. So you see, let's say that 250, maybe I wouldn't know because when let's see. So you see, my rank is I'm ranked 455, and I'm not an active trader. You know, this volume, I just generated it recently, not in the previous campaign. More recently, did I generate this? Okay, for the next snapshot. So I'm trying to up my position. Okay, so now if you look at my portfolio here, and you go to history, you will see that I've been successful in most of my trades in recent time. Earlier on, I was losing, I was still experimenting, but these are all my recent trades. And you'll see I upped my equity. I started small, and now I've upped my equity just to be more. So only today was when I upped to this. So with three times of this, it's more tangible. Okay. So what's the method? There are different things I've done here, by the way, not just trading predictions. I've also provided liquidity. I wouldn't talk much about that in the course of this video. It's a bit technical, but there are always markets to trade, especially in the hourly, So this one, if will go up many times, if you just as simple as follow the crowd, you would end up with a winning trade, even though you don't end up with high APR. Right. Sorry, high returns. So apologies for that. So in this one, this trade, it's still young. So this just started 43 minutes. So typically, if you wait towards the end of the window, it's when there will be more accuracy, there will be more definition in predictions. Most people will want to go with popular demand. So there are some situations where it remains like this because it's quite undefined. When you scroll down here and you go here to see the actual price by the Oracle, you know, it's not defined that in this context, ETH is going to open above 4,003 at the time of the end of this timer. Okay, so if we come back here, it hasn't loaded. So let's say here now you see 520. So that's above, sorry, 4,520. That's above 4,503. And there's only, say, 1 minute to 2 minutes left. You know that, ETH is quite stable. It cannot just shake in price. So you know that it's likely going to close at that. I would have wanted this to load up. So you can be safe, is my point. But safer when you trade closer to the end of the window. Now, if you are looking for uh, profit, you can also be profitable. I have been profitable. Uh, there is more profit margin when you enter at this position where it's quite undecided what the price will be at the end of the window, especially early on in the 1 hour. You can also take a liquidity position where you are also unlikely to lose, but you will earn points for your liquidity position. For a liquidity position, you would have to buy. This is not the type of market for a liquidity position, and I'll show you like here, this type of market here. Although I don't want to talk about liquidity, but I'll just summarize what it is. It's about providing a position on both ends. So for this is a good market for liquidity provisioning. You put up a limit trade. So this says this is a very good one for liquidity provisioning, although the volume is not very high. But if you put up a position on the yes side near the 50.4% mark, and then you also put up a sell position on the other side, so you'll be able to capture liquid people that come and buy a yes position or no position. They may buy against your principal, your liquidity, and when they do, you earn points that way. I believe it's a very good way of earning points. I've tried it, by the way, multiple times. Most times you want to close your position before the window ends, but even if you leave it till the window ends, you'll typically get your equity back. But I don't want to talk about this. This is a bit complex. So, but if you want to participate in this without providing liquidity, there is also an opportunity for profit here, because you see this has started now. This is going to move back and forth throughout the 18 hours left. It will begin to have more definition towards the end of the window. So you can take you can trade here and make a profit. For example, let's say that I was going a yes position now. At the moment, if I put up 731, the expectation is that when this ends and I'm yes, no. Apologies for that. Let's not. This is not the perfect example because it's quite a long time before this ends. Anyway, the point I wanted to highlight is that you can actually trade. So let's say that I enter right now a yes position, and this ends up going uh, like this leaves the 50% mark, and let's say it starts leaning more towards yes. Let's say it's at 70% yes. And I find it as such and I sell my position, I'll be in a tangible profit already. Or let's say it ends up going to say 90% yes against 10% no. I can sell my position. And when I sell my position, I will be in a tangible profit already. So this is a good type of market where you can actually trade before the window ends. There will be many opportunities for profit while earning points. You simply need to sell your position to take those profits. But for this one, you will need to be present, actively monitoring the price and stuff. Besides that, you have that safe option. Uh, and if you want to go on safe, you can go against the crowd. The profit margin is higher when you go against the crowd and succeed. So, anyway, let me just leave it at that. I'm a bit disoriented, struggling with health once again. So, anyway, take action. The point of this video is to take action as soon as possible. There is also this at the moment, there is a multiplier on your points earnings on the hourly market. So you can join this profit challenge. Yes, you can join this profit challenge. Although I prefer the advanced outlook. Anyway, get started with Limitless if you're interested. There is still enough time, 4 days before the first airdrop window. So, take it seriously if you're interested. Bringing us to the end of this video, your wall chain link will also be in the description. There are a bunch of opportunities in the description. Check them out. To conclude with this video, visit airdropc.com. Submit your email here to subscribe to airdrop reminders. I'm working on many airdrop prospects which will be sent via email. So submit your email here. Contact me using this contact form, this Telegram, and this Twitter. Subscribe to Web3 Wikis on all socials. Stay awesome, take action.